Yo, what up? Before we get started, I got to give a quick shout out to me, you know what I mean? Shout out to me. Yo, you made it. You made it, C's. Congratulations, man. You made it. Shout out to you. Shout out to me again, real quick. You know what I mean? Yo, it's been a journey, man. And for one, I had to get low. I had to get low. And, sometimes I often get confused. I think that it's about me. You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna lie, I'm selfish at times because I be thinking it is about me. And it's not about me. God put me here on earth to do a job, and I be straying away from that job from time to time. You know what I mean? And I gotta get low. I be rebelling against God. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. Like I be rebelling against God, man. So for one thing, one thing that I had been putting on hold forever, and slowly God just been calling me back, and that's just picking up a Bible. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I picked up the King James version, and it's been a long time coming, man. I be thinking that like, yo, just study the principles, study the men before me, and I thought that was enough, but it wasn't. Because oftentimes I get led astray, and slowly just find myself back just by going back to His word, and His word is the truth. Right now, there's a lot of controversy regarding Christ as King. We're going to talk about it because this is also a conversation that I will be wanting to have with my future grandkids and their kids and everything like that. They could just come back and see what granddad was all about. What was he yapping about? And, creating this platform, it's going to give me that opportunity to do so. So, lots of conversations to be had. This conversation slowly, again, let me get back to it. I try to stray away from God, thinking that I had all the answers and thinking that, my internal compass, not knowing that God is my internal compass, is leading me somewhere. And I just keep fighting it. I'm like, nah, man, these things seem cooler. These things seem more fun to do, believe in my lying eyes. And my eyes is lying to me all the time. So His word doesn't lie. His word never changes. People change the interpretation of His word, but if you follow the truth behind His word, which I am attempting to do, is a lifelong study. It's a miracle. It's His miracle that I've come this far and was able to make myself successful through the lessons that He taught me along the way. Right. And I often look at it like, yo, how did I get here? And then just like, God got you here. Now do His job, and I'm like, I don't want to do it. This is the dialogue that I constantly have with myself. Like, I don't want to do it. Not that I don't know how. I know that each action that I take is going to get me closer and closer to the objective that He wants me to fulfill. But oftentimes I just think that like I lack faith, and I didn't have this Bible to turn to. I was just like, let me look on YouTube to find faith. Let me look to this influencer or this speaker or this, just looking outside of myself for examples. And this, we've had this conversation on this channel multiple times. And each time there's like another layer of clarity, right? It's sort of like the rings in the tree. You think you got it all figured out. Things are all greasing, like you're on the path, and then you just stray away. But this is like, in order to be part of the chain or part of the ring, you have to stay on the path because it just continues. Each year is another layer. Back when I was starting out, I was single, right? So I had to learn how to be a single man. And then I got married. I had to learn how to be a husband. And then we had kids. I had to learn how to be a father to a son. And then I had another kid and I had to learn how to be a father to a daughter now. And these new things constantly over and over again is a new layer of me having to learn more about myself in order for me to be able to fulfill my obligations, right? Being a husband, being a father to two kids, owning a home, having a dog, all of these new responsibilities is like, and then looking out into the world for an example of what is the ideal of what I would want in order to fulfill my obligations, right? Looking at, the high successful men out there, like your President Donald Trump, right? Oftentimes I'm like, yo, this guy has all the money in the world. He's been married 3 times. And I'm like, yo, why is he doing that? Like, if I got divorced, I would want to be a bachelor hey, but there is this saying out there: never trust or do business with a single man, right? And that led me down another rabbit hole. Like, yo, what do you mean by that? Right? And then the conclusion that I came from is like married men are more trustworthy because they have to look out not only for themselves, but they have to look out for every single member of their family. And that is the member of your immediate family, your wife's immediate family, your kids, and everything like that. That is now your tribe. And I'm like, yo, why isn't this prevalent? Why aren't we learning these things? And then come to another realization that it's intentional, right? If you look back in pre-civil rights era, you hear like black people have been prospering like before the civil rights passed, and then like 50 odd years after the civil rights passed, you're looking at all of the destruction of the family structure, the nuclear family, man at home, wife at home, kids at home. And then another aha moment, it led me to this discovery. Like the biggest boogeyman of the Democratic Party is a black couple in a heterosexual marriage with 2 black kids. And I was like, yo, back to the Bible. Now you start to make these correlations and you start to gain these understandings. And now you get to like your faith, and then also the principles, your guiding principles are all going to start to be stronger and stronger, right? And it's just crazy to me that the Republican Party, or at least, not the establishment Republican Party, but the true core Republican Party, which black people rose from, black people were Republicans. I don't know you know what I mean? Because they have conservative values. And one of those conservative values are getting married, handling your business, taking care of your family, and having as much kids as possible, right? And you're starting to see like, what do the Democratic Party are campaigning on? They're campaigning on abortion. They are putting people who don't deserve, like the DEI. Now people are saying DEI stands for the N-word now. Every election cycle, here comes the Negro Wranglers. Here come the people bringing up race and God forbid anything happen, there's probably going to be some sort of racial symbol of a racist Republican Party who just wants you to get married and have as much kids as possible. Like that, like go figure, right? And you're just noticing that like, yo, they're campaigning on abortions, which means like, yo, more kids are going to be either killed or be born to single parent households, because it is incentivized in these blue cities, and counties, That like, yo, you can be an independent woman. Like you don't need a man. The government is your man. However much you need, we'll provide it for you. We'll provide just enough. We'll provide just enough, you know, so that we could just keep you right where we need you. So that the next, election cycle, one of your kids get killed, we'll just plaster them up on the screen and you vote for us. We'll make sure that doesn't happen to the next kid over and over again. And you're just like, how can people? Anyway, I was once that ignorant person living in a blue city. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, under stop and frisk. You know, I got stopped multiple times and frisked multiple times. And, you know, I never had anything on me. You know what I mean? God protected me then. He's protected me now. You know what I'm saying? Anywho, like, that is the Democrats' biggest boogeyman, right? Noticing how each marriage, it's its own business. It's its own LLC. It's its own S corp, right? As a married couple, me and my wife, we're our own S corp, right? Like how many, and then like, yo, the tax incentives on that, keeping the money in, all money in, the government doesn't want that. The government wants to siphon as much money, you know, as possible out of its citizens so that they can grow bigger and create these fake jobs that brings no value to anyone. And they'll just continue to just hammer it home. Like, yo, like you being discriminated against, let's create this anti-discrimination freedom fighters to the rescue, Captain America, whatever the hell, right? They just make up the jobs. I probably just made up a job just now. You know, the government is in the business of growing bigger, not taking care of the citizens' needs, right? They just want to get bigger. They want to tax you more, right? So that they could offer you less, so that they could continue to tax you more. So whatever sort of dream you've had, American dream that you had, owning a home, running a successful business, it's like all that red tape. And that's why, you know, I like Trump, because he's a businessman and he represents the true vision for America. Build a successful real estate empire. He's married, although multiple times. Who cares? Everyone is flawed, but he at least committing to a woman. That is one of the hardest things that anybody can do. And that is one of the highest honor God can bestow on you. You know what I mean? As a man, your highest honor, in order for you to, if you want to be king, you're saying that you're a king, a high value man, this, high value man, that. Like if you ain't married, you're not even in the high value discussion. And this is something that Kevin Samuels talked about. Everybody was just sort of seeing Kevin Samuels as like a woman basher. But Kevin Samuels was pro-marriage because he grew up in the era where he's seen the destruction of the nuclear family. And what he wanted to do is highlight like, yo, you got these high value black men here, and this is what they need in order for them to take them to the next level. And that's a wife who submits to his vision. All right. So the highest honor, if you want to call yourself a king, you cannot call yourself a king without a wife. Full stop. All right. You want to be in the king discussion. You want to be in the high value discussion. You get married. Now look at the successful people out there who are married. LeBron James grew up in a single parent household, right? But he grew up to get married. And look at how God has blessed him. Look at the career that God has blessed him with. Like everybody was like, oh man, look at LeBron. Why are you getting married so young? Look at the fruits of him being married so young. Kobe, married so young, going into the NBA where all his other teammates are just, doing the crazy stuff. But look at how look at his fruits, although his life was cut short, but look at what he was able to produce, right? His name and legacy will live on forever. And it's the fact that he got married, right? Look at Steph Curry, married his high school sweetheart. Look at guy in Kansas City. Slips my mind right now. The quarterback of Kansas City. It'll come to me. Look at President Trump. Look at Vivek Ramaswamy, who was like, you know what I mean? Look at all of these examples of high value men who married young and was able to like have the world at their feet, have their name in the stars. You know what I'm saying? And you could be single. Look at P. Diddy. Look at what P. Diddy is going through right now. Lifelong playboy. You know what I mean? Lifelong playboy and all of that. The mic just cut off on me. You know what I mean? But we back. Shout out to me for coming back. You know what I mean? You know, and I get it, man. I was once young too. I didn't understand. And then like me meeting my wife, it was just like me being slow walked. You know what I mean? Because like if it was left up to me, based on how I grew up, I'm like, yo, let's just, you know what I mean? Let's have a kid and then we'll just, you know, live our separate lives. But it was like, no, I had to meet my wife. And my wife is like, who grew up in a heterosexual married environment. It was like, nah, we getting married and we about to run it up. I was like, okay, you know what I mean? And then it took up till now, like, holy shit, I'm a king. I'm a king now. You know what I mean? I'm a king now. And it's like building your empire, building your new Rome. You know what I mean? Having like guiding principles. Again, you know, holding myself accountable, following the people who set forth the examples. They're married, you know, they running it up, and they're providing me clear guidance on where I need to go and where I need to take my family. And thank you, God, for being patient with me. Like, yo, if you want to know if God is patient, I'm here to testify. Like, God is patient, because I put myself in so many different like positions where it's like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, yo, just follow, be diligent, just stick to the path. You know, the shiny toys is just glaring like, oh my God, I could do this, I could do that. He's like, nah, man, I got you. Just have some faith. I'm like, but what if? He's like, yo, C's, I got you. Just chill. So I'm here to tell you right now, I'm not perfect yet. You know, and as we continue to have these discussions, you're going to realize that you're not perfect either, but your actions are always going to be perfect. It's always going to be part of his plan. But just realize, just put it, all of it on his shoulders. I don't even like, you know, whenever I see that I want something, I know that I can't get it by myself. I'm like, yo, if God wills it, like, then it's going to be mine. But like, I could want the new Ferrari or the blinged out jewelry, the lavish life, but I'm going to try everything to get it, but I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to stop until I realize that vision that he has for me. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, this was just a long rant. Wanted to get on here and just let my thoughts fly, man. Like, this is my living, breathing journal. And just let my thoughts fly, and just, you know, whoever's out there, whoever catch it, you know, my kids in the future, my grandkids, like, yo, what up? These are the thoughts that's illuminating from me, man. And just keep going. Document your life. Have like a rich history that you could show your future kids. And yeah, do good business, and everything will take care of itself, man. Anyway, I'll leave you guys with this. Drink water, get money, and mind your business. Peace.